सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वेदवेदान्तसाम्राज्य धर्मकामार्थमोक्षदं विद्यारण्यन्नुमः पुण्यं यो विद्यारण्यमच्छिनत्. We can read from 6th prayer. देहेन्द्रियादिसकलजडावभासकत्वेन So we are seeing the Tvam Padartha Nirupanam, presentation or description of the meaning of the word Tvam, you, Jivaha. And mainly we are seeing the Lakshartha, the implied meaning of the word Tvam. Because in Tattvamasi Mahavakya, if we take the literal meaning, you, Jiva, are, Asi, are, Tat, that Ishvara, then this Vakyartha, the meaning of the sentence cannot be arrived at. Because you, Jiva, a limited Jiva, cannot be one with Ishvara. And when Vakyartha, the meaning of the sentence is not possible based on the popular meaning, immediate meaning of the words, then we have to resort to Lakshartha, the implied meaning. As we saw that if I say this person is the pillar of the organization, if we take the popular meaning of the pillar, then sentence will not make sense. Therefore we have to go for implied meaning. Similarly here also we have to go for implied meaning. And so here we are seeing the implied meaning of the word Tvam. And what is that? Tvam, the word Tvam implies this pure consciousness, which is the innermost self, the real self. And may I have the knowledge of the self, which is of the nature of consciousness. And what is consciousness? That which is not illumined by others. It is self-evident. And it is the basis for illumination of others. That reality which I am is consciousness. Somebody was asking me this question, Swamiji, in a person who is unconscious, we call it person is unconscious for 1 year, 2 years. Is there consciousness? Because we are using the word what? Unconscious. So in unconscious person, is there consciousness? Our answer is what? Yes. Consciousness is there, but manifested consciousness is not available completely. There also it is some extent it is there, therefore the digestion etc. is happening. Breathing etc. may be happening, but it is not fully manifest. Sometimes that light, it become dim. We had this Gnaneshwari that the light, the what they call this, flash, no, spotlight, spotlight. So all of a sudden it became dim. So morning it was okay and the evening it was dim. Electricity is the same, but that particular LED that had some issue. So similarly, this LED has some problem. Then even though consciousness is there, it will not manifest properly. So in unconscious person also, consciousness is fully available. Only thing, it is not manifesting. Alzheimer or some problem issues person has, there also consciousness is there, but not manifesting. Alright, so that is one thing. Then afterwards, what is Swayam Prakasha? That also we saw. Swayam Prakasha means being self-evident without being objectified by others. Shining on its own without being objectified, illumined by others. That is called Swayam Prakasha. Then Ananda Atma. Atma is Ananda Swarupa. And this can be understood in different ways. One way is that Atma is existence consciousness which is free from limitations of place, time and object. Space-wise, time-wise and object-wise, it is limitless. Ananta. And being Ananta, it is the basis of all experiential happiness. Therefore, it is Ananda. Another way which is used in Panchadashi and also in Brihadaranyaka, that Atma is Ananda Swarupa, by saying that Atma is dearest. Status of being dear indicates the source of happiness, and it is dearest, therefore it is the highest absolute source of happiness, therefore Ananda Swarupa. But some people say, Swamiji, I hate myself. People say that I hate myself. How do you say that I am dearest? Kadachidapi apriyatva bhavena. At any time there is absence of non-dearness, unlovability. But Swamiji, sometimes I hate. In fact, I hate myself most than anybody else. I hate myself. There are people. And in everybody's life, these moments come when person hates oneself. So how do we reconcile with this? Shastra says you are the dearest. And I have got sometimes experience that I hate myself, Swamiji. So we say that you are having hatred towards yourself. What is happening? You are creating a division in yourself. One is ideal self and other is this present self. Means the self with having certain limitations. So you are one, but you create this division. In psychology, in fact, they have got threefold division. Id, ego. Id they call, no? Id. Okay. Ida, okay. Id. Yeah, I wanted to check, I could not. Id, ego and superego. So id means what? He is a base person. उनको खाना पीना सब पसंद है. So he likes to eat, he likes to enjoy, he likes to dance. That personality in the person in psychology is called id. And superego is ideal. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सुनो, like that. Three monkeys, that's superego. I should be like this. I should have full control over my body, full control over my organs, So that is superego. And in between personality is ego, trying to manage both of them. And therefore what happens? There will be some conflicts. So sometimes the ego will be siding with the superego. The ego will be siding with superego. Sometimes it going with the id. And sometimes when it goes with the id, then superego personality comes and it scolds oneself. How can you be like this? You are a Vedanta student. How can you be like this? So really speaking, you love yourself. And since you love yourself, when you see some limitations in yourself, you can't stand it. And therefore, you are scolding yourself. And which is what you call, I hate myself. You see, I hate myself when you say, you are the one who is the karta and you are the one who is karma. How it is possible? You are creating a division of ideal I and actual I. Then ideal I, you are identifying and scolding the actual I, in which you call it I hate myself. But when you hate yourself also, it shows your love for yourself. Because you do not want to see any limitation in you. You don't like. You like to be perfect because you love yourself. And your love for yourself, your love for perfect I is expressed in a distorted manner in the form of self-criticism. Therefore, I love myself stands. And since I love myself the most, therefore, I am Anandaha. This we saw in the last class. Now the next one. A similar idea is presenting Ananda Swarupa Atma. Atma sahitattvena dukkhatmakasya deha dehe api priyatvat. Atma paramananda rupaha iti. आनंदात्मज्ञान सिद्धि सम्यक भूयात्. Acha, before I proceed, I would like to explain the shloka mantra. Atma is Chit Swarupaha. That is presented in the Shastra by this mantra. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoya magnihi. Tatra means with regard to that Atma, which is Chaitanya Swarupa. Now we have seen Chaitanyam, so you know, self-evident self. Suryaha na bhati. The sun does not shine, does not illumine. The sun does not illumine the self. The moon does not. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra. Nor the moon, nor the stars. Then Kutoya Agnihi. Then what to talk about this small Agni? All of them do not illumine, do not objectify Atma. In fact, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. Everything shines after. Sun, moon, all of them shines after. Tameva Bhantam, that Atma which is shining. Everything is shining after that self which is shining on its own. Tasya bhasa, by the light of that consciousness, that Atma. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By the light of consciousness alone, everything is illumined. Everything is evident. So it is talking about the Chaitanya Swarupa of Atma. Alright. Now here Ananda Swarupa is talked about. So the main sentence is Anandatmajnana Siddhihi Samyak Bhuyat. Let there be attainment of the knowledge of the self which is Ananda, Samyak, very well. Similar one. Only thing here, the point the presented to arrive at Atma is slightly different. And what is said, that Atma as such, consciousness, existence, consciousness, Atma, people don't know. So people will say that, Swamiji, you said, I love myself and therefore I am Ananda Swarupa. But I do not know myself. So how will I know that it is Ananda Swarupa? The self itself I don't know. For that here the answer is given. That even if you do not know the real self, which is existence, consciousness, which is limitless, but because of the association with, identification with this Atma, Dehadihi, even the body, etc., which are Swayam Dukkhatmaka, body, etc., by themselves are limited and therefore Dukkhatmaka, of the characteristic of Dukkha, misery. Still, Atma Sahitatvena, being along with the Atma, being identified with the Atma, the self, Priyatvat, Dehadi also becomes Priya, since body, etc., also is dear. Body, senses, mind, all of them are dear. Why? Atma Sahitatvena, being identified with the self. So, because of being identified with the self, even the body, etc., which are Dukkhatmaka, but still they become Priya, dear. Therefore, Atma is Paramananda Rupaha. Therefore, the self is of the nature of the highest happiness, fullness. Acha, what is the logic presented here is, it Paramananda Rupa iti, in this manner, Anandatmak Dana Siddhihi Samyak Bhuyat. Let there be attainment of the knowledge of the self, which is Ananda. So we say, let us take the example so it will be clear. Water by itself is not hot, it is cold. But because of the contact with fire, this cold water also becomes what? Hot. So hot that if you touch that water, then you will get some pain, blister. From that, what do we understand? That cold water becomes hot by the association of which fire? That fire must be of the nature of heat. Cold water becomes hot by the association with fire, must be of the nature of heat. Otherwise, how this cold water is becoming hot? Similarly, this body, etc., being limited, they are of the nature of misery, full of problems. But still, since there is an identification of this body with the Atma, therefore, even though body is Dukkha Swarupa, it becomes Priya, dear, as if it is the source of Ananda. So, because of the association with Atma, the body, etc., becomes the source of Ananda, and therefore they become dear. Body is very dear to us. Therefore, somebody comes, we always protect. If we have some shield or something, we put it. So, body, etc., even though Dukkhatmaka by itself, but becomes the source of Ananda, as it were, because of the association with Atma. And therefore, body becomes dear, etc. So, body is dear because it is seen to be the source of happiness, and it is not the source of happiness, but becomes source of happiness because of identification with Atma. And therefore also Atma must be of the nature of happiness, fullness. Like cold water becomes hot because of the association with fire, so fire must be of the nature of heat. Similarly, this body becomes Priya, source of happiness, because of the tadatmya with Atma. Therefore, this Atma is Ananda Swarupa. By even association, the body etc. become the source of happiness and dear. Therefore, Atma is Ananda Rupaha. This is one more way of appreciating I am Ananda Swarupaha. Because of my association, body also becomes Ananda Rupaha. Even though you do not know yourself to be Satchit Swarupa, still you are dear to yourself. Right now you are knowing yourself to be body, mind, sense complex. That also becomes Priya because of the identification with Atma. So the identification of which makes the body source of happiness and dear, that Atma is Paramananda Rupaha. Iti, in this manner, Anandatmak Dana Siddhihi Samyak Bhuyat. I am Ananda Swarupaha. Even the very thought itself is so elevating, that I am Anandaha. So elevating. If you say I am Dukhi, so if you take your what is called the energy, vibration energy, there are some device. You see I am Dukhi, and they perhaps measure your aura etc. And you say I am Ananda Swarupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. Say like this, altogether different. Because when you say I am Ananda Swarupa, you are in touch with your reality, what really you are. And Satyam is Shivam, and in Sundaram also. And therefore you feel good about it. All right. So always better to say, I am Ananda. Crying but Ananda, Swamiji. Which Swamiji nicely said. He said, your sadness is sustained by Ananda Swarupa Atma. Even when a person is sad, the sadness is evident to the person. And sadness becomes evident because of consciousness. And that consciousness is limitless, which is Ananda. Therefore, sadness is sustained by Ananda only. We have to repeat this idea in our mind. So when there is sadness, we remember that this, even I am crying now, but behind these tears, the self is Ananda. मेरा जूता है जापानी, ये पटलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. Yes. So whatever my cholesterol is like this, sugar is like this, but हम ठीक है. I am okay. I am okay. So that Vedanta gives that spirit. I am okay. Whatever body has problems, and people around me have got problem with me. So many things are there, but I am okay. Yes. All right. So this Anandatmak Dana Siddhihi Samyak Bhuyat. Okay. Now in the next shloka, next prayer, Asanga Swarupa is highlighted. Yatra yadvastu astiti kshate tena vastuna anyatra ananvagatattvena Atma asangaha iti asangatmajnanam samyak bhuyat. So I am asangaha. Asangaha means uninvolved, relation free, unattached. This is presented based on the Brihadaranyaka Vakya 4.3.15. There the sentence is Saha yat tatra kinchit pashyati ananvagataha tena bhavati asango hi ayam purushaha. Okay, let us understand the idea conveyed. Here, the logic of anuvritti, vyavritti is presented. Anuvritti means continuity, invariability. Vyavritti, otherwise called vyatireka, is discontinuity. And we see in three states of experience, Sthula Sharira, the gross body, is there in the waking state. There is identity with the gross body. And consciousness also is there. Without consciousness, no experience is possible. So in the Jagrat Avastha, there is Anvaya, Anuvritti, continuity of the gross body and consciousness. In Swapna Avastha, what happens? This gross body is dropped here. So gross body is not there, but consciousness continues. So there is vyavritti of gross body and anuvritti of consciousness, which is Atma. In Shushupti, even the subtle body is dropped. In the Swapna Avastha, Sukshma Sharira is there. Atma is there. In the Jagrat Avastha, Sthula Sharira is there, Sukshma Sharira is there. In Jagrat, Sukshma is there, but Swapna Avastha, gross body is dropped from identification. Sukshma Sharira is there, but Sthula Sharira is vyavritta, discontinued. And in Sushupti, Sukshma Sharira also is dropped, but consciousness is. So in Jagrat Avastha, the self, I, consciousness, witness the existence of the gross body. I witness consciousness, witness the existence of gross body. But in Swapna Avastha, the association with that gross body is not there with witness. In Swapna Avastha, witness is there. Without witness, Swapna Avastha, Anubhava is not possible. So in Swapna Avastha, witness consciousness is there, but gross body is not associated with me, I. Gross body of this Jagrat Avastha. And that which is discontinued, vyavritta, and that which is anuvritta, that anuvritta is different from vyavritta. That which is invariable, continuous, is different from that which is discontinued. Invariable, continued, is different from variable, discontinued. So gross body is discontinued in the Swapna Avastha, whereas the consciousness, witness, consciousness continues. So the continued one, anuvritta, invariable, is different from, free from any association with this discontinued. In simple words, that which doesn't accompany you all the time is not part of you. You are free from the real association with them. So whatever remains with you is you. Whatever gets dissociated, dropped, is not a part of you, not you, not the meaning of the word you. And you do not have any real connection with anything which is dropped. Like we say that a friend who is there in your rich state, and if he does not continue in your poor state, then he is not a friend. Isn't it? If somebody when you are rich and he is your friend, When you lost money, then he is no more your friend. It means he is not your friend. Real friend will not be like that. Similarly, if something is really associated with Atma, it will continue. In every avastha it will continue. But in Swapna avastha, the body, Sthula Sharira, is not associated with Atma. And therefore what? I am free from the real association with the gross body. So anything which was experienced in one state and not experienced in another state is not really connected with Atma. Like friend, I told you. The friend who is there in your rich state and who is not there in your poor state is not your friend. A friend in need is friend indeed. And this fellow is what? A friend only when he needs. When I need, he is not there. When he needs, he is my friend. That is not real friend. So, I, Atma, am asangaha. Why? Because everything other than consciousness is dropped, is dissociated. I think they use the word jettisoned. So, they dropped. And therefore what? I, Atma, am free from real association with any one of them. And this I discover when I am manifesting through the body. Based on the Swapna avastha, I understand that I am not really associated. And when I have discovered I am not really associated, then even when I appear to be associated, I discover what? I am not really associated. Like some friend, when you were rich, he was showing friendship. You became poor, he was nowhere around. And again you became rich, then he came to you. Again he comes to you. Then what will happen? You say hello, hi, but in your heart relationship is gone. So similarly, when with reference to Swapna avastha you have seen that a gross body mera real friend nahi hai. So even when you are manifesting through it, you know that I am not really associated with it. And so I am asanga swarupaha. That idea is given. It's a little bit intricate manner because the original is like that. This is based on the Brihadaranyaka Shruti. He said, Yatra yad vastu asti iti ikshate. We have to supply the karta Atma. Atma, who is witness, ikshate, witnesses. Yatra, wherever, in a given state. Yad vastu, whatever thing, gross body, relatives, asti, exist, iti, in this manner, ikshate. In whichever state, whichever thing, the self witnesses as existing, as existent. Tena vastuna, with that object which was witnessed as existent, anyatra, elsewhere, in other state, ananvagatena, ananvagatattvena, because of not being associated in other state. Therefore, Atma asangaha. Atma is relation free, unattached. Iti, in this manner, asangatmak jnanam, the knowledge of the self being relation free, samyak bhuyat, let it be very well. So, I am asangaha. Like what? Like akasha. I am like space. The body is like a pot. I, space, even though obtained in this body, which is like a pot. Our body is like a pot, and I, Atma, am like Akasha, Chidakasha. So I, Chidakasha, Akashavat Chit, obtained in this body, but free from any real relationship with the body. So, I am asangaha. This knowledge, let it be very well. Because we, not knowing this fact, we get attached to people. We always carry glue all over the body. So get stuck with everybody. Every now and then, wherever we get stuck. Swamiji, Shibiri, retreat, we went there. I made 10 friends. We are in touch. We made a group now, WhatsApp group. So we are in touch. This is... Some of you might have done perhaps. So I'm just imagining. Nobody told me like this. But this is what happens, And afterwards he said, this fellow replies, he doesn't reply and all this, So samsara continues. So you are interacting with everybody, but knowing fully well, I, Atma, am asangaha. And therefore somebody stops interacting. Okay. That's all right, That was as far as the prarabdha of this body-mind-sense complex, and that body-mind-sense complex was there, interaction was there, relationship was there. Now that is over. I am asangaha. Nothing touches me. I am untouchable. Generally, untouchable, somebody calls you untouchable, you feel bad. But in Vedanta, it is a glory. Asanga means this, asanga means I am untouchable. Therefore, if somebody say, hey, don't touch me, you should feel good. I am untouchable. Really? Otherwise, we feel insulted, no? That, oh, I am so impure that he doesn't touch me or something, she doesn't touch me. Yes, I am untouchable. Yeah. Asparsha yoga in Mandukya, it talks about. I am asangaha. And one simple way of understanding how I am asangaha is, I am of Paramarthika reality. I am Paramarthika Satyam. And the body, mind, sense complex, all the objects of the world are of Vyavaharika reality. They are Vyavaharika Satyam. And Vyavaharika Satyam cannot touch me, the Paramarthika Satyam. Therefore what? I am asangaha, untouchable. Nice? Untouchable. And when you have this knowledge of being untouchable, then you are not afraid of relationship. Otherwise, in sadhaka avastha, this one in-between stage comes. Before sadhaka avastha, person was getting so much involved with so many people. As I told you, the glue. All the time getting stuck with people. And then stuck, and then afterwards problem, crying and all this. And now he becomes a sadhaka. And he remembers, my God, the relationship is a big problem. So I don't want to relate to anybody. So all the time like this. Sometimes I hit also somebody. It is understandable. I have gone through that, so I know it. No. I don't like to relate to anyone. So somebody comes and I'll say, why they have come, why they are talking and all this. So in sadhaka avastha, that stage comes. When you don't want to relate to anybody. You hate relationship. Because bond so much, ये दिल के टुकड़े हजार हुए. So I didn't have that problem, okay? So don't think that, Swamiji, now I understood why you became sannyasi. Not like that. So, means we tend to unnecessary things, you say like this and all, so many things. But once you get this understanding, asangaha, then as and when required, you relate to people. You don't go after relationship. But if your role demands that you have to relate to people, you relate. And then that matter is over there. No hangover. No. So this asanga atma jnanam, in fact, makes you relate to people better. because of your objectivity about relationship. It's a very beautiful thing. You understand yourself to be asanga, therefore you have a good sangha, healthy sangha. Not hatred towards relationship, not going after relationship. This is by the way, but I am asangaha. Asangatmak dhanam samyak bhuyat. So when you have asanga atmak dhanam, no, nobody can threaten you. If you do like this, I will not speak to you. Generally people, they do like this. If you do like this, I will not speak to you. Okay. If somebody tells like this, okay. आपका भाषण भी सुन लिया, अभी आपकी शांति भी देख लेंगे, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. You are ready. But we tell the person, okay, you don't want to speak to me, doesn't matter. But when you feel like speaking, I am always available. Because you do not have this hankering of after relationship, nor you have a hatred for relationship. Now you don't want to speak to me, doesn't matter. But when you are ready, I am always ready. That is the maturity in relationship. When you are not dependent upon relationship, at the same time, you don't hate relationship. Alright, so here, asangatmak dhanam samyak bhuyat. Alright, then the next one is expansion of one's understanding about oneself being Chaitanya Swarupa Atma. So, I am Chaitanya Swarupa Atma, obtaining in this body, different from this body. Even though I obtain in this body, but not limited by this body. I am distinct from this body. Now, that understanding is expanded. Before one discovers complete oneness with Brahman. So that idea is given in the next shloka, next paragraph. Hiranyagarbhadisthavaranteshu sharireshu yadekam chaitanyamasti tadevahamasmi iti dradajnanam nirantaram bhuyat So here, yadekam chaitanyam asti tadevaham asmi iti dradajnanam nirantaram bhuyat. That is the main sentence. Previous one main sentence was asangatmak dhanam samyak bhuyat. Alright. So here what is said is, in Drigdrishya Viveka, I say, I am different from the body, I am different from the sense organs, I am different from the mind, I am different from ahankara, I am consciousness obtaining in this body. I am called Pratyagatma. And now I expand my understanding about myself, that I am not only the Pratyagatma obtaining in this body, I am Pratyagatma, Sakshi, obtaining in all bodies. This is a very beautiful understanding, beautiful contemplation. I am Sakshi Chaitanyam, witness consciousness, obtaining in every body, witnessing every mind. What is the difference between Chaitanyam and Sakshi Chaitanyam? Chaitanyam word is used for all pervasive reality. Even in this clip, there is consciousness. Sarva Gata Chaitanyam, all pervasive consciousness is present here. So in this clip also, consciousness is there. Because consciousness is nothing but existence, and existence is there, that is consciousness. Therefore, all pervasive consciousness is here. But here, Sakshi Chaitanyam is not there. Chaitanyam is there, but Chaitanyam as Sakshi Chaitanyam is not there. Sakshi Chaitanyam word is used in the context of the Antakaranam, Sukshma Sharira. So wherever Sukshma Sharira is there, subtle body is there, then only consciousness gets the status of Sakshi Chaitanyam. So in this clip, consciousness is there, but Sakshi Chaitanyam is not there. In this body, consciousness is there as Sakshi Chaitanya. Don't say consciousness is there Sakshi Chaitanya, and we should not say. Consciousness is there and Sakshi, no. Consciousness is there as Sakshi Chaitanya. And in the beginning we say, I am witness consciousness present in this body, different from this body, different from the mind. And then I say, I, witness consciousness, am present in every body. Only pots are different. One is little tall pot and one is fat pot or something. But the space-like consciousness is the same. And I am that consciousness. I am the conscious space-like consciousness present in all the bodies. So we meditate like this. First you visualize a plant. In plant also Sakshi Chaitanyam is there. So I am available in the plant as Sakshi Chaitanyam. Your resistance will not be there because you don't have any animosity with plant. Unless some plant which has caused some itching. There are some plant, you know that? When we were small, we used to play on each other with that. No itching was that. So unless that type of thing happen, this generally you don't have a problem. I am Sakshi Chaitanya in the plant. I am Sakshi Chaitanya in a small baby. You don't have resistance because you don't have agenda for the baby. Then you say, I am Sakshi Chaitanya means some person who is neutral for you. And then I am Sakshi Chaitanya available in the friend's body. And I am Sakshi Chaitanya available with whom you have generally difficulty in interacting. That fellow or that felly, whatever. So fellows feminine is family. So you have some difficulty. So you say, I am Sakshi Chaitanyam present in that body also. I am present in all the bodies. So this idea is given in this prayer. It's a very beautiful. In fact, this is the first prayer in the original text. I really like this. Hiranya garbhadi sthavaranteshu sharireshu yat ekam chaitanyam asti. Consciousness yad ekam chaitanyam. One consciousness is there. Yat, which is sharireshu, in all the bodies. Hiranya garbhadi, starting with Hiranya garbha, Brahmaji. Hiranya garbha is a technical name from Brahmaji. So, in all the bodies, ekam chaitanyam asti. One consciousness is there, which is in the bodies starting with Hiranyagarbha and Sthavaranteshu up to the plant body. So one consciousness which is there in all the bodies starting with Brahmaji's body, which is the huge body. Because entire this gross universe is his body. And up to the small plant, one consciousness is there in all the bodies. Tat, that consciousness which is the Sarva Sakshi, Chaitanyam, Tadeva, that alone, Aham Asmi, I am. Iti, in this manner, Dradajnanam, firm knowledge, Nirantaram Bhuyat, let it be there all the time, continuously. So let this knowledge be there continuously, that one consciousness present in all the bodies, starting with the body of Brahmaji up to this Thavara plant, that one consciousness I am. So I am consciousness present in all the bodies. So this is, in a way, it is a transition from Tvam Padartha to Tat Padartha. Therefore, when I had a discussion with one Swamiji, so I said, Swamiji, we can put in Tvam Padartha. He said, it looks like Tat Padartha. But he said, Tvam Padartha also okay, because this is a transition point. Why transition? Because from one body identification, you are now going to identify with the total. So in between it is there. And therefore, it can be taken in Tvam Padartha Nirupanam, Tat Padartha Nirupanam. Both ways it is fine. But we are taking in Tvam Padartha because in Bhagavad Gita, when the Mahavakya Upadesha was given, what was said? Kshetragdam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So sarva kshetreshu yaha kshetragnaha asti tam mam brahma viddhi. So there sarva kshetreshu was associated with the kshetragna, which is Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. Therefore we are putting it with this Tvam Padartha Nirupanam. Alright. So I am consciousness, Sakshi Chaitanyam, present in all the bodies. So with this, Tvam Padartha Nirupanam is completed. Now we'll enter into the Tat Padartha Nirupanam. Tat Padartha Nirupanam is presentation of the meaning of the word Tat. The Tat which is occurring in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. And in the case of Tvam Padartha, we did not require to know Vachyartha because it's very popular. But for Tat Padartha, we need to know Vachyartha and Lakshyartha both. And so first, the 12th paragraph is presenting the Vachyartha, the popular meaning of the word Ishvara. And then the next one will present the Lakshyartha of the word Tat. So we will read 12th. Yato va ityadi shrutya jagat karanattvena pratipaditasya sarvagna sarvashakti sarvavyapakasya sarveshvara ityadi rupena lokashastra prasiddhasya तत्पदवाच्य ब्रह्मणः ज्ञानं सम्यक् भूयात्. So here main sentence is Tatpada Vachya Brahmanaha Jnanam Samyak Bhuyat. This is the main sentence. Let the knowledge, Jnanam, of Brahma, which is Vachya, which is the immediate meaning of the word Tat, Tatpada. Samyak Bhuyat. Let it happen very well. Let it be very well. Let the knowledge of Brahma, the immediate meaning of the word Tat, be very well. Means, may I have the knowledge of the immediate meaning of the word Tat, which is Brahma, which is otherwise called Ishvara, be very well. Let me have clear knowledge of Vachyartha of the word Tat. Alright. And what is that Vachyartha of the word Tat? Immediate meaning. He said, Yatova ityadi shrutya jagat karanatvena pratipaditasya brahmanaha. Brahman which is pratipadita, presented as what? Jagat karanam, the cause of this world. How? Yatova ityadi shrutya. By the shruti such as Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhruguvalli, this Brahma Lakshanam is presented. What is Brahma? Brahman is that from which all the beings are born, all the beings are sustained, and all the beings are resolved back into, that is Brahma. In this manner, Brahman which is presented as Jagat Karanam, Upadana Karanam, Nimitta Karanam, both. So that Brahman which is presented by Shastra as the cause of the world. And what is the Lakshana further? Sarvajna, knowing, all knowing, Sarva Shakti, all power, Sarva Vyapaka, all pervasive. So Brahman which is all knowing, all power and all pervasive. And Sarveshwaraha ityadi rupena lokashastra prasiddhasya. And this Brahman alone is prasiddha, well known. Even in the world, how we know Bhagavan? We know Bhagavan as the creator of this world, Sarveshwaraha, the Lord of all. So we know Bhagavan as the Lord, the controller, the ruler of all. Therefore we say it is everything is Bhagavan's hand. So in this manner, Sarveshwara ityadi rupena, in the form of ruler of all, which is well known. In Shastra, Esha Sarveshwaraha. In this manner, Shastra also talks about Mandukya. And Loka. In the world also, Bhagavan is known as what? The ruler of all. That's why we say that Upar wale ki marji. So his will, he is the ruler. Without his will, even a leaf cannot move. That is what? Sarveshwaraha. So this Brahman, which is well known as Sarveshwara, which is presented as the cause of this world, is the Vachyartha, the immediate meaning of the word Tat. So let me understand the immediate meaning, the popular meaning of the word Tat as Ishvaraha. And remember, Vachyartha of the word Tat is Brahma, which is otherwise called Ishvara. People think that Brahma, word we cannot use for Ishvara. Vachyartha of word Brahman is Ishvara only. Jagat Karanam, Ishvara alone is the popular meaning of the word Brahma. And therefore we should not think that, oh, how can we use word Brahman for Ishvara? Ishvara is Brahma, Brahman is Ishvara. And that is the Vachyartha, the Ishvara is the Vachyartha of the meaning, Vachyartha of the word Tat. Now what is the Lakshyartha? That is presented in the next shloka. And why we have to, next paragraph. Why we have to take Lakshyartha? Because if we take Vachyartha, then the Vachyartha of the word Tat and Vachyartha of the word Tvam will not match. Jiva and Ishvara cannot be one. And Tattvamasi Mahavakya is saying Jiva and Ishvara are one. Therefore, we have to do this Lakshana. We have to take the implied meaning of the word Tat so that there will be oneness between Tvam and Tat. And therefore, in the next paragraph, the Lakshyartha, the implied meaning of Tat is told. We'll read and complete this. Satyam Gnanamanantam Brahmetyadi Shrutya Nitya Nirvikara Sangha Advitiya Paripurna Satchidanandatvena Lakshitasya Tatpada Lakshyartha Nirupadika Brahmanaha Jnanam Samyak Bhuyat. Samyak bhuyat, let it happen well. Let it be well. What? Tatpada lakshyartha nirupadika brahmanah jnanam. The knowledge of nirupadika brahma, adjunct free Brahman. Tatpada vachya is a sopadika Brahma. Sopadika means with adjunct. What is the adjunct of Brahma? Maya. So Tatpada vachyartha is sopadika Brahma. Brahman with the upadhi, medium. Otherwise it is called mayopadika Brahma. Whereas the lakshyartha of the word Tat is nirupadika Brahma, adjunct free Brahman, bachelor Brahman, nirupadika Brahma. And nirupadika Brahman is Tatpada lakshyartha, implied meaning of the word Tat. So let there be knowledge of adjunct free Brahman, which is the implied meaning of the word Tat. And how is it is indicated in Shastra? Nitya, Nirvikara, Asanga, Advitiya, Paripurna, Satchidanandatvena, Lakshita. This Nirupadika Brahma, Nirguna Brahman is indicated as Nitya, permanent, Nirvikara, changeless, Asanga, relation free, Advitiya, non-dual, Paripurna, complete, and Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, fullness. In this manner it is indicated. And where is it indicated in this manner? Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam, Brahma, Ityadi Shrutya. By the Shruti Vakya, such as Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam, Brahma. In Taittiriya, the Brahmananda Valli, this Vakya is there. Satyam, Gnanam, Anantam, Brahma is a very important sentence. There is a very long Bhashyam. We take it for about 25 classes. That much big Vakya it is. Big Vakya means explanation wise big. What does it say? Satyam. Satyam is unnegatable existence. Jnanam, consciousness. Anantam, limitless. Is Brahma. This is the Lakshana. Technically it is called Swarupa Lakshanam of Brahman. The direct definition of Brahman is this. What is Brahma? This is Brahman. Unnegatable existence, consciousness which is limitless. So limitless, unnegatable existence, consciousness is Brahma. By this Shruti, and other Shruti also is that Nishkalam, Virajam Brahma Nishkalam. So by this Shruti, Brahman is indicated in this manner, Nitya, Nirvikara, etc. And that Brahman is Tatpada Lakshyartha. May I understand this Tatpada Lakshyartha very well. So may I have the knowledge of the implied meaning of the word Tat. And what is that? Nirupadika Brahma. So here now Nirupadika Brahman is arrived at as the Lakshyartha of Tat, and there Shuddha Chaitanyam is arrived at as the Lakshya of the Tvam. So one side Rasa is ready, the Gulla is ready, now Rasa is ready. Now tomorrow what we'll do? Rasagulla will do. Means we'll see they are one. It's just example, okay? Don't take it too literally. So the Tvam Pada is existence consciousness. Tat Pada also is, Lakshyartha is existence consciousness. And they are one. That will be revealed in the next paragraph, which we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadai Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.